Okay, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. I was just chilling in my room, waiting to go to class later, and Krima just decides to drop this bombshell of a roadmap, so let's just jump right into this. So February 25th, that's today's date, they're going to talk about the future of Temtem here, okay? So let's just read through this. Hello Tamers, it's already been over a month since Temtem's release. During this month, we've seen a constantly growing amount of questions around the game, its future, and its planned features. So we want to take some time to share with you what we have in mind for the game so you can have a peek at what's coming. Please keep in mind that every detail discussed here is not 100% confirmed for the game. During the game's development cycle, ideas change constantly, and stuff we like today we might not like as much tomorrow. So take everything in here not as confirmed facts, but more like the stuff we would like to introduce into the game. See, that's fine with me. All I want is an outline of what they have planned. I don't care about personal dates or anything. I just want to know what they have upcoming. Dates aren't a big deal to me. I don't understand why people want hard-cut dates. That puts so much pressure on the dev teams. Just let them do their thing. As long as they have plans, that's all that matters. So the same thing with the plan dates. We're not really big fans of having public dates for everything. They add a lot of okay, so this is what I was saying. They add a lot of unnecessary pressure on the team, and they make making changes and swapping features around a very difficult task. We know everyone else likes dates though, so we've decided to include open dates for each block of features. Take them with a grain of salt and expect delays and features moved around dates. Yep, that's fine with me. 100%. I just like these ideas. Also, one of the motives to write this is to gather feedback around the ideas. Temtem is always built around its community, so every idea is appreciated. That's great. The Krima devs are so good. I love these guys. Well, we've divided the roadmap in two, and we'll also be taking a little more in-depth about some of the features depicted in the roadmap. Okay, so here's the roadmap. I'll blow this up on the screen. I won't have it just sitting here in the browser for you. I'll make it a little bit bigger. So it looks like in spring 2020, so let's say before the end of May, we're going to have ranked matchmaking, spectator mode, in-game chat, chat bubbles, and club management. So they're going to be adding clubs, ranked, and spectator mode all in one update before May even ends. Like, this is, what's that, 3 months time? Bro, that's a great roadmap. Okay, and then summer we've got the new island, Kisiwa. 25 new Temtem in the summer with player housing, climbing gear, and Emotes V2. The Krima devs are unbelievable right now. They're adding a new island in the summer when the early release was just released in January 21st. It's been a month, and they've already got plans for, it looks like, 2 islands, Cipanku and Kisiwa, and 50 new Temtem before this year is even over. This is nuts. I'm so excited. So then in the fall, they've got first Mythical Temtem, in-game tournaments, quest diary, and achievements. The in-game tournaments is going to be huge. A lot of the competitive scene right now is just split into Discord servers and just done through a Twitch stream manually. So if they start implementing in-game stuff sooner rather than later, it's going to blow up even more than it already is. So let's read into the little specifics of all these things. For ranked matchmaking, we do plan to balance patches frequently during early access. Our plan is not to be obsessed about reaching a perfect balance until the Temtem roster is complete in the full final release. Due to having only a limited set of Tems and techniques, it is impossible to balance everything perfectly, so we will mostly balance extra overpowered stuff that can break the current meta. Even with a not so perfect balance, we've seen several team compositions and strategies already, so don't be afraid of trying anything new and step into Temtem's competitive scene. Matchmaking. The first iteration of the matchmaking will include a player rating system based on ELO, aka TMR, Tamer Matchmaking Rating. Players will start with some placement matches which will define their initial TMR. They will be matched with each other based on their current TMR. For this first iteration of the matchmaking, we plan to give Pansun rewards for each victory as a reward for the time spent battling, based on the opponent's TMR. Although probably this feature will be disabled when the feature launches until the system is fully tested and stabilized. That sounded really awkward. Did I read that right? Although probably this feature will be disabled when the feature launches until the system is fully tested and stabilized. Okay. Anyway, here's a big one, auto-scaling. This is probably one of the hottest topics in the community right now. We know it is very important for competitive players to jump into the competitive scene as quickly as possible and reduce the time and friction needed to tweak and test new stuff. So our idea to solve that is to introduce auto-scaling into the ranked queue. Auto-scaling will essentially perfect your Tems, upping all their SVs up to 50 for the battle and their level to the current level cap, which is currently 48. With auto-scaling, players will still need to capture and organize their teams, set their preferred TV spread using fruits or training, and obtain necessary gears completing main or side quests in the game, and breeding for their desired egg techniques. But players won't need to grind for perfect SVs or spend a fortune breeding to reach that point. This auto-scaling will only apply to the ranked matchmaking queue, so there will be other game modes where having a perfect Temtem and breeding for them will be necessary, such as in-game tournaments, player-organized tournaments, battles, dojo club, in-game PvP, PvE, etc. Okay, so this is one of the biggest things. I love this, because a lot of the reason that people aren't jumping into competitive right now is because how long it takes and how much money it takes just to start up playing. You need your perfect Tem, you need a TV train, and each time you make one, it's like upwards of 25, 30k, I don't know, maybe 50k. I haven't checked the prices recently, but it costs a lot of money just to start with one team. And if that one team isn't that great and you want to change it, then you just have to repeat the process and go back and spend all that money again. So this auto scaling is going to be huge, but the only drawback is that it's in the ranked matchmaking queue only. I feel like that'll be fine, because if you're doing tournaments and stuff, you should already have a better idea of what your team should be. Next, we got Spectator mode. Having a Spectator mode has been one of the most requested features so far, and while we already had it in our internal roadmap scheduled for later, we've decided to push it to the front due to the number of players requesting it. This is the first iteration of Spectator mode, and it'll be a basic one. We will iterate on it in the future, adding more options. So basically, players will be able to spectate other players while they are playing a competitive match. While spectating, only the common info will be displayed. HP and stamina percentages, team composition after the pick and ban, stages, status conditions, techniques used, etc. So players won't be able to use this feature to get leverage on their opponents. That's perfect. Yeah, this is definitely the biggest reason why they added it. Temtem Arena right now is huge. They do tournaments, or live stream tournaments like every other day or something crazy like that. And that's not the only tournament platform out there. So these spectator things are going to be able to stop them from, having the screen share in Discord and everything like that. So next we got in-game chat. I don't really care for in-game chat. It'll be cool, but I don't really see why it's a big thing. The chat implementation we had during the alpha and stress test phases was a temporary one, and it was lacking a lot of features, so we decided to disable it entirely for the early access release. Our plan is to remake the chat from scratch, increasing its performance and capabilities. The chat will have several predefined chat groups: global, local, trade, club, etc. It will also support private messaging between users. We're also going to add chat bubbles, which will appear above every talking character. We know some players find chat bubbles a little bit intrusive sometimes, so we'll give the players the choice between two different levels of chat bubbles: full text or just a notification, or disable them entirely. Perfect, thank you. See, they know what they're doing. We don't need to doubt these devs at all. They know exactly what they're doing, what the players want. Next is club management. Clubs are our take on clans for Temtem. Clubs have basically two main features related to them. The first one is to be able to create a club, assign a banner to it, name it, and invite all your friends to join. This will be the first part of the club features that we will tackle. The second part is the Dojo Wars, which we'll talk about more in the next part of the roadmap. When is that going to be released? Is that going to be released soon? I don't know. Next is housing. Every Temtem player will be able to acquire a house since they won't be limited in quantity. We're designing the Atoll Row, the physical location where all houses will be built, to be infinite, so you don't need to worry about buying permits or land. Technology in the archipelago is amazing. There's one thing you'll need to worry about though: decorating your house. You'll be able to decorate your house using furniture bought and earned in-game, and every furniture store in the archipelago will open their doors and will showcase different furniture in each island, similar in a way to the boutiques with clothing options. Are they going to be super overpriced? Are we going to get better money-making options? You'll also be able to invite other players over so you can gather around your dining table or join other players' houses and check how they're decorating them. While houses will keep a predominant decorative functionality, we'll have some ideas to include useful furniture too in the future, thinking of things like an incubator, jukebox, fruit tree. That would be cool. I'm glad they're thinking of that. That's going to be great. Could you imagine being able to grow your own TV fruits and stuff instead of having to pay like 8k per fruit? That'd be nuts. Incubator so you don't have to carry the eggs around? That'll be great. Jukebox? I don't know, that would be cool too. I don't really care, let's do it. Achievements. We all love achievements, whether they are something simple like completing the Tempedia or something more obscure like defeating a Nukama with a head charge. Achievements are now part of most games, and Temtem will not be less. Temtem will feature a full array of achievements that will reward players with the most precious currency of them all: bragging rights. Although some of them will also potentially give some in-game rewards. That'd be sick. Achievements will be supported directly in-game, and we will also support achievements for every system we release on, as long as they have an achievements and trophies feature, of course. Midterm roadmap. Hop in tomorrow in this same post for the second part of the roadmap, including the trading house, Dojo Wars, and details about the endgame island, after launch support, and more. Oh my god, guys, they're going in on this roadmap. Okay, so let's scroll back up. What are the major highlights of this roadmap here? Ranked matchmaking, that's a big one. Spectator mode, that's another big one. In-game chat bubbles, those aren't too big. It'll be like important, but it won't be essential. Club management, that's going to be huge. That's going to get a lot more people and their friends in on the game so they can play together and complete things together. That'll be really cool. That's just in the spring, so before June, I would say, is a safe thing. So I can probably expect to see it. What is it? It's February now, March, April, May. I honestly, realistically, it'll probably be late April. Yeah, probably late April. But summer 2020, that's probably before August. So maybe late July, we're going to get a whole new island, about 25 new Temtem, player housing, the climbing gear, and new emotes. Emotes isn't a big deal. Climbing gear is huge. That means we'll get access to Hocus and Pocus. We'll be able to get a bunch of new items that we weren't able to get. There will be faster ways to move around the island too, so you don't have to run around each and every mountain. And then 25 new Temtem. I wonder if those include some of the ones on the wiki that aren't out yet, but they're already on the wiki. It probably will, right? Anyway, so fall 2020. That'll probably be before November. Actually, maybe in November. So we'll get another new island. So we're getting Kisiwa and Cipanku before this year's over. We're getting 50 new Temtem and 1 mythical Temtem, with in-game tournaments, quest diaries, achievements, player housing, Kisiwa, climbing gear, emotes, ranked matchmaking, spectator mode, in-game chat, club management, and that's not the end of it. If we go back down, they have more tomorrow. So I'll be uploading another video tomorrow highlighting the trading house, Dojo wars, details about the endgame island, and the different support options we'll have after launch. This is going to be insane, guys. I'm so glad they put out this roadmap. This is huge. I'm glad they're communicating with us so much. The future of this game looks so bright. Okay, well I think that's it for this roadmap. I'll be uploading another video tomorrow to highlight the second part of this roadmap. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for my future content, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.